Driving along a major highway in America a couple of days ago, an electronic billboard, a very, 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 very big one, came up. It simply read, "Biology is bigotry."
No kidding, you saw that?
Yeah,
That's a new one.
No one is born a woman.
Right. Or a man, obviously. Yeah, that's fascinating. You saw that?
Oh, I saw it.
Did you get a picture of it?
I wish I had. We were speeding by so quickly.
Biology is bigotry.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And we're the anti-science people, not the people who put the billboard up.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Okay, so let's come back then. You mentioned you'd been to Australia and you had some observations about it.
Yes. So I've been there quite a number of times. I've lectured there a lot. So this is not the observation I had in mind, but I do want to share this. So Australia embodies something that I speak about on my radio show a lot. If you visit Minnesota, and I've been to all 50 states, so in Minnesota, there's a saying that Minnesota nice. People in Minnesota are known for being nice, and they are. So how do they elect awful, awful people? The defund the police type leftist, the America-hating representative like Ilhan Omar. This is from Minnesota. How do nice people elect bad people? So I love everybody. I'm just telling you, this is not to butter you up. Is that an Australian saying?
Yeah, we use that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I like being buttered up, by the way.
Oh, that's very sweet. That's. I love your honesty. Australians are very friendly. You cannot not enjoy going to Australia. So you are Minnesota nice in Australia. Nice people electing totalitarians, basically, authoritarians at the least. But that's not the observation I wanted to share with you is seeing the movement to authoritarianism in Australia, which is what all movements leftward are by definition, and then the lockdowns that you had in your country, like in Melbourne, were evil, just evil. The cruelty and leftism go together. And what they've done to medicine is its own subject. People were not allowed to have a loved one visit them, and as they were dying, you had to die alone because of COVID. That was the acts of cruelty that took place in the name of health. I've said for now 25 years, I have a motto on my show, Health über alles. It's taken from the German fascist song, Deutschland über alles. Germany above all. It is now Health über alles, or gesund if you wish, German. Health above all. In the name of health, you can do anything. Anything. Yeah. You could lie, you could suppress, you can be cruel, you can distort, you can get rid of doctors who dissent in the name of health.
Let's dig into this a bit. How did we get to this point? Would you buy the thesis that perhaps in an age when we live for the here and now, we've done away with the idea of life going beyond the grave, this is it, so we've got to make the most of it, that in that environment, we actually become so protective of our well-being now that we will sacrifice freedom in pursuit of safety and security?
Absolutely. And I would go further. Big belief of mine. Humans do not yearn to be free. This is a myth. It's a romantic, silly myth about the human race.
Perhaps that's why the French revolutionists had to say, you will be free.
Well, the French Revolution is a perfect example. I'll get to that in a moment. People yearn to be taken care of.
Yeah.
That's the reason the left always wins around the world. The United States was the single large exception because we put liberty above being taken care of. Take care of yourself. take care of your family, take care of your community. That was the American way, and it worked.
Government downstream, it will be kept downstream.
Yeah, that's correct. The founders of this country mistrusted government because they mistrusted human nature. The more power you give to people, the more corruption you have, and ultimately evil. They were 100% right. 100 million people were murdered, and no student ever hears this.
This is amazing, isn't it?
100 million people were murdered. I'm not talking about combat deaths in war. Murdered. By whom?
Their own
secular government.
Their own government.
Their own government, correct. It's very important. But secular and big government. They love government and they love secular. The greatest sources of evil in human history, they adore. Secular and government.
And at first instance, you might say, you've just answered the question, of course, if people just want to be safe and secure, well, why shouldn't they go for that over freedom? But the answer is that they're not safe and secure in the end.
Exactly.
That's the point, isn't it?
Right. In America, we produce the best medical system, not for every single human being, but the best medical system because it was so free. It's much less free today. Doctors now are employees. They used to employ themselves. The deterioration will be felt within a generation. They're choosing doctors based on their woke attitudes. At medical school after medical school, I report on this regularly on my radio show. So it's very depressing to see what's happened to the medical profession. There is a law just passed in California where you're sitting, which is yet to be signed by the governor. It'll be interesting to see if he does because he wants to run for president. Any doctor accused of misinformation will lose his medical license in the state of California. So if a doctor says, I actually have a therapeutic that has helped hundreds of my patients not die from COVID, called hydroxychloroquine, if the doctor says that, he could lose his license. My doctor believes in hydroxychloroquine. I took that and ivermectin for 1.5 years, got COVID twice, zilch, meant nothing.